So my name is Jordan Sheely, and I am a founder and project director at an organization and community called Jerusalem Farm. And we're located in Pendleton Heights neighborhood, which is one of 6 neighborhoods that make up the historic northeast of Kansas City. And I first want to thank you for inviting us here today on the second Sunday of Advent to share with you a bit about our work. This Advent season, my wife and I and our 3 kids love to celebrate the Jesse tree tradition. And for those that are unfamiliar, it's a reference to the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, where he says, "On that day a shoot shall sprout from the stump of Jesse, and from his roots a bud shall blossom." It's imagery of a resurrection, a dead stump with a tender but powerful shoot sprouting new, foreshadowing new life brought forth by Christ. Isaiah talks about how this new shoot will bring justice to the poor. The lion will lie down with the lamb, and all people will be brought together in unity. I share this because if we were to step back and take a long view at the mission and vision of Jerusalem Farm, it is to practice and proclaim resurrection. Our neighbor Shirley bought her house over 50 years ago. And as she told me, she was young, pregnant, and in love with her then boyfriend, who proposed that they buy a house together and get married. He was able to buy their house in the Northeast for $20,000. And it wasn't a fancy house, but it was theirs. They moved in full of joy, but for about the first year, they didn't have much furniture and slept on the floor. Now widowed at the age of 73, she still lives in that house where she has all her best memories of family life. However, on a fixed income, she struggles to afford to make necessary repairs and modifications. She was facing code violations for peeling paint and rotten siding. She was falling behind on her property taxes, which had risen dramatically over the last 3 years due to development downtown, which has raised the property values. On the inside, her carpet was worn and causing breathing issues, and she needed grab bars in her restroom and other various places to help with mobility. All these issues add up, and at the very least cause stress and the health effects that come with it. At the very worst, they can lead to someone losing their house. Displacement of long-term residents of the Northeast is a concern. At Jerusalem Farm, our community of volunteers work tirelessly to accompany individuals like Shirley in making the necessary repairs to their home, accessing programs and resources to stabilize their financial situations, and providing a network of support so people can age with dignity in their homes. In 2022, we served 146 individuals in 59 households. 65% are seniors, 68% are people of color. The average income per household is $816 a month, and 35% of our clients speak a language other than English in the household. Safe, healthy, and dignified housing is essential. However, according to our recent Northeast Listening Project, 47% of homeowners in the Northeast said they had housing maintenance issues they could not afford. Please unite with us in proclaiming resurrection as we strive to transform our lives and those around us through home repair. Thank you.
Again, my name is Starla Brennan, and I'm the executive director at Amethyst Place. At Amethyst Place, we provide long-term supportive housing for women in recovery and their children. And probably the best thing about our housing is that the families get to stay as long as they want to. We have 37 apartments, and so that means about 80 kids on campus at any given time. About 50 of them are 5 and under. So we have a lot of fun watching all of those little 3-year-olds running around. These kids are beautiful. They also have some very sad commonalities. They have all lived in a home with substance use. Most of them have been taken away from mom. They have all suffered from poverty and trauma. And that same story is true for their mom and her mom before her. And it just goes on and on. Generational poverty, generational substance use, generational housing instability and homelessness, it all goes hand in hand. And it is extremely hard to break. But at Amethyst Place, it does happen. When mom arrives, she has a few clothes, and that's really about it. And she enters her own private, fully furnished apartment, and all the furnishings in that apartment are hers as soon as she walks in that door. She can take them with her when she leaves, several years later, being successful. And so the magic happens once she arrives, and she now has a stable home. She has Amethyst Place supporting her. Her children are then returned to her because she has a stable home, and that family can finally begin to heal. This happens with a lot of supportive services. So we have on-site therapy, recovery coaching, wellness coaching, career coaching, financial coaching, pretty much anything you can get on our campus. And the transformation that happens because of all of that is incredible. These families now have a home. They have friends that have the same life experiences as they have had, and they have support, and they have love. We love our program graduates, and in fact, we have 3 on staff. They all have amazing stories, but I'll share the story of one who didn't just break that generational cycle, she shattered it. She had no high school diploma. Her children had been taken away. She was living on the streets or in shelters, and she always kept a go bag because she never knew when she would have to make a quick exit, and certainly wouldn't stay in any one place for very long. In 2015, she came to Amethyst Place. Because she had a home now, she was reunited with her children. Then the magic started to happen. She got her GED, then she got her bachelor's, and then she got her master's. And as amazing as all of that is, she will tell you that one of her most successful times was when she was able to finally feel safe enough that she unpacked that go bag. She is now one of our managers, and she gets to manage all the programs that helped her be successful and that have helped her children. And we want that story for all of our moms and all of our kids. Right now, we have a year-long wait to get into one of our 37 apartments, and that means those kids stay separated from mom until she can get stable housing. And so we're building another 37. We feel we must. Last year, we purchased land just a block away from our current campus, and with the mom's input, we've designed a beautiful space, a nurturing space, and we plan to break ground this spring. In the last year, we've already raised over two-thirds of the cost of construction, so we are close. And we are always so appreciative of Country Club Christian Church and all that you do for us, and so it's even more special being invited here now at this critical time in our Amethyst Place history. So thank you for all you do. It is truly life-changing for generations to come.
We serve homeless moms with kids, specifically high-barrier families, so a lot of addiction, a lot of domestic violence, a lot of untreated mental health. We provide all kinds of services, case management, therapy, housing. The thing that we provide that's probably the most difficult is we provide lots of structure, and we provide expectations. We also provide, I believe, hope and faith, because we have to have hope so that they can see that there is hope for them. When the moms come in, about 40% don't make it 30 days because they're coming out of chaos. They grow up in chaos, and to put structure and expectations and probably what feels like pressure, because we know they can be successful, we know they can get housing, we know they can get jobs, we know they can stay clean and sober as long as they're ready. So it takes a lot of hope and a lot of faith, and for them as well, faith in themselves. Wanted to tell you about Beth, who was in our program, didn't stay very long, about a year ago, left against our advice. One of our case managers ran into her at court, and she had been beat up, badly beat up, spent 7 days in ICU, almost didn't make it, got out, to go to prison because she had so many violations. And she connected with us and said, I need to come back there. I have to get back there. I'm not going to make it. And so she kept writing us from all these different jails because as soon as she got out of one, she had a warrant somewhere else she had to go serve. Finally got her in September. Since then, she's been clean and sober. She started working about 2 weeks ago. She started doing visits with her youngest child. She has other kids that she doesn't have custody of any longer. But for me, now she's ready, right? Now she knows that there's hope. Now she knows that she has faith in herself, in the system, in the program. That's what you all have given us for years. We very much appreciate the financial support, the paper towels, the underwear, the socks, the dinners, but the hope and the faith that you put in our families is invaluable and is really, they can hear it from us, but when they see you all come in or when they see things that come from Country Club Christian, they know they have the community behind them. So on behalf of our moms, thank you so very much for the hope and faith that you put in them. Appreciate it.